The Roswell Incident, a narrative woven into the very fabric of modern UFO lore, remains one of the most detailed, debated, and dissected alleged extraterrestrial events in history. Occurring in the summer of 1947 near the small town of Roswell, New Mexico, the story encapsulates the height of post-war UFO hysteria, government secrecy, and the birth of a global fascination with ET life. In early July 1947, amidst the rugged landscape of New Mexico, a rancher named William Mack Brazel stumbled upon a field littered with debris unlike anything he had ever seen before. Fragments of metallic sticks, pieces of a strange reflective material, and scraps of what appeared to be parchment, but were impervious to fire and a knife.
What did Mack Brazel find scattered across his property? Could it have been what the government first said it was, a crashed flying saucer? Wreckage scattered over a large area. Witnesses describing it as lightweight and super strong beams with strange drawings and foil-like material that had a memory.
Puzzled by his find, Brazel collected some of the debris and shared his discovery with the local sheriff, George Wilcox, who in turn contacted the Roswell Army Air Field. The RAAF quickly became involved, with intelligence officer Major Jesse Marcel being dispatched to the ranch.
Intelligence officer Jesse Marcel was one of the first military men at the debris site.
Jesse had gone out to the ranch with Brazel and picked up a bunch of material and brought it back to the base. That material was flown to General Ramey's office.
Upon inspecting the site, Marcel and his team collected the debris, which he described as containing metal with unusual properties and strange hieroglyphic symbols. The material was flown to higher headquarters, igniting a series of events that would lead to one of the most infamous press releases in history.
A lot of this material, there were very few people saw. A lot of it was put on trucks out at the site, or covered, taken to the aircraft, and the aircraft flown either to Wright Field or wherever else they may have gone.
And Army Air Corps pilot Pappy Henderson admits that he flew wreckage of a crashed saucer from Roswell to Dayton, and he tells a friend that he saw alien bodies.
On July 8, 1947, the RAAF issued a statement claiming to have recovered a flying disc. The story made national headlines, fueling speculation and excitement. However, this initial announcement was abruptly retracted.
That's when the official story was changed. The Army Air Corps said Brazel had found nothing more than a downed weather balloon, and they had pictures to prove it. Intelligence officer Major Jesse Marcel was ordered to pose for pictures with some of the wreckage and told not to talk to the media.
Brigadier General Roger Ramey, commanding officer of the 8th Air Force at Fort Worth Army Air Field in Texas, declared the debris was merely a weather balloon, displaying fragments of a radar target to the press as evidence. The official narrative shifted. There was no flying disc, merely a misunderstanding fueled by the burgeoning UFO craze. The swift reaction and explanation did little to quench public curiosity. Instead, it sparked theories of cover-ups. Witnesses later came forward with accounts of a large-scale military operation in the area, reports of additional crash sites, and the recovery of non-human bodies.
But what were they? Dennis was told by a high-ranking military officer that they were indeed something special.
He said the bodies were definitely aliens. He called one to know, he said, "What's the smallest size hermetically sealed casket that you keep in stock?" And then again, here again, I said, "Hey, what have you guys got out there?"
Later that day, while on an ambulance run to the base hospital, Dennis saw strange wreckage of the back of 2 Army ambulances parked outside this emergency room door. And an Army nurse, who was a close friend of his, told him that she had been part of some strange activities going on in the hospital that day.
And what they wanted her to do was write down what they were doing. And on one gurney there was a crash bag that had two small, little, very mutilated bodies. And then on the other gurney there was a crash bag there that was unzipped, and it had a little body, she said, that was almost complete. It hadn't been mutilated.
She claimed they were doing an autopsy on that one, a body that was not like anything she had ever seen before. She described some very unusual features that were not human.
It only had 4 fingers, and on the tips of it were little pads, and then it looked like very small, minute little suction cups. And they described the arm as much larger here from the human, and a very short joint up here, and the head was very large. The eyes were very sunken in.
In 1978, nuclear physicist and ufologist Stanton Friedman interviewed Major Marcel, reigniting interest in the case. Marcel insisted the material he recovered was not of this world, leading credibility to theories of an extraterrestrial spacecraft.
Jesse Marcel talked to Walter Haut and admitted he didn't buy that crashed weather balloon story.
He was very, very adamant. What we picked up and brought into the base was not of this earth.
Over the decades, the Roswell Incident has been subject of numerous investigations by both private researchers and the U.S. government. In the 1990s, the U.S. General Accounting Office conducted an inquiry into the alleged records regarding the incident. The report concluded that the debris was likely from a then-classified project, Project Mogul, which aimed to detect Soviet atomic bomb tests using high-altitude balloons equipped with sensors. This explanation, while plausible, didn't satisfy all the skeptics who pointed to inconsistencies and signs of a government cover-up.
The beings on that spacecraft, he relates, were not anything that he could identify from our planet. They did not appear like any human being he'd ever see, but they were obviously not anything else. So they obviously were living human beings, and some of them were injured, most of them were dead. They were taken by he and a number of other individuals to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base at that particular point in time, and he said they were put there for later evaluation, identification, examination by the Air Force and by the military.
And up until a few years ago, it was a very active hospital. And on the 3rd floor of this building, there was the dental lab. In that lab, a dental technician. We'll call him Jack Smith. And as Jack told the story to Len Stringfield, it was on a Thursday. He remembers the day quite well because Thursdays were normally very quiet days here at the VA Medical Center. And 2 men he identified as officers from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base brought him a model, an impression of a lower jawbone. They wanted a working model made. He was to keep no records, and the mold he created to make the model was broken and thrown in the trash as the Air Force officers left. Smith retrieved the broken mold pieces and put them back together at home, and he made his own model. He said he knew this just wasn't human. Few have ever seen it, and those that have can't identify it. An article in Len Stringfield's new book quotes certified dental technician Bruce Phillips as saying it's not like anything he'd come across in his 20 years in the business. The teeth are flat, no cutting surfaces. The shape of the jaw is different from humans, and the arch is much deeper. If it isn't identifiable as animal or human by people who should know, what is it? Could this finally be the first hard evidence the Air Force was indeed doing tests on alien bodies out at Wright-Pat? Jack Smith says the jawbone model was made in 1979. And if you compare the shape of the jaw in the model with the shape of the jaw in this computer drawing of an alien, it's almost a perfect match. Some sources claim the drawing was part of a government UFO briefing in 1978, same time frame.
The enduring allure of the Roswell Incident lies not just in the event itself, but what it symbolizes. The possibility of contact with extraterrestrial intelligence and the lengths to which governments might go to conceal such information. Roswell has become a pilgrimage site for UFO enthusiasts, with museums, shops, and annual festivals celebrating the town's unique place in UFO history. The Roswell Incident, with its blend of mystery, conspiracy, and science fiction, continues to captivate the imagination of the public and researchers alike. It serves as a testament to the enduring human fascination with the unknown. Whether the result of a top-secret military project or something more otherworldly, the events of 1947 near Roswell, New Mexico have secured their place in the annals of history as the epitome of the UFO phenomenon, a narrative that continues to evolve with each passing year, fueled by declassified documents, new testimonies, and an unquenchable thirst for the truth. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Whispers of Myth, and remember to like and subscribe.